Hello and good evening, good afternoon, good morning, whatever it might be in your time in the world, your time in your place in the world. Welcome. My name is Darren Barton, and welcome. There we go. So we're broadcasting fine now. Everything looks okay. Everything looks to be working okay today. We had major issues. I don't know what the problem was with YouTube on Wednesday, but I had real issues with the whole Hangout. So we're going to do a much more shorter, truncated Hangout today, simply because some important information that I want to make sure that you guys have got as we go into this weekend. Now, I'm literally in between a wedding. I've been to a wedding today. I'm literally getting ready to go to the evening do now. So this is really going to be quite truncated. If I get chance, I will answer any questions if you want to put them in that live chat. If you do that, put them in capitals, that would be great. Just makes it a lot easy for me to spot them. Also, if you are interested in becoming a member of Zukul, if you're not a member of Zukul already, it is by invitation only. And so if you want an invite, then if you look below, hopefully there will be some comments below this video, and there will be some links on there. Some guys on there will be guess there will be founders, and they'll be able to answer any questions that you're probably unsure of after what I've gone through today. If you want to look at other videos, I've got loads of videos about Zukul, our binary bots, our crypto trading bots, our fiat trading bots, our gold trading bots, all of our sort of trading bots. I've got loads of information on my YouTube channel, and also if you go to Jeremy Rush, his channel, then again you'll find a lot more information on there as well. Okay, right, we've started a little bit early because, like I say, I want to try and cram in as much as I can into the limited time that I've got available. So I've got a few people in the house, I think they call it, youth of today, I think that's what they say. So hi everybody, appreciate you being on. I realise that this is a bit of an unusual start time for most people, so I guess we might catch a lot of people watching the recorded version later on this afternoon or this evening. Oh, right. I've just had a little tinkle bell on there. That is just an alarm for the bot, as it were, for our crypto, for our Forex trading. So that's just sent me a little alarm, letting me know that there's a trade opportunity. All right. Now, what we'll do is we'll go straight over there now, just to sort of give you an idea of what we're building for. I was going to say the future, but it's actually the near future. If you don't know anything about Zukul, very, very quickly, we are a crypto trading platform. We essentially build trading bots which allow you to trade the markets, whether it be fiat to crypto, crypto to crypto, crypto to gold. What else we've got with binary option bots, which I'm going to talk to you a little bit about today, and we've got a Forex bot, which we're in the early stages of production for that, and again I'll show you a little bit of information of that today. And then we have what we're calling our smart wallet and mining farm, and that's a combo. And again, essentially what that is basically if you have any cryptocurrencies, you'll be familiar with the fact that you have a wallet, an e-wallet, and you can buy and sell cryptocurrencies on various exchanges. Well, different exchanges have different prices for a particular currency. So you can, for example, buy Bitcoin on one platform for $2,000 more or $2,000 less than you can on another exchange or platform. And basically what our bot will do will essentially identify those differences in price and will automatically buy and sell cryptocurrencies. So it's a bit like flipping cryptocurrencies, so it constantly will continue to do that and basically recycle the profits into more profits and more profits. So it's a very, very exciting tool, and I know the programmers are working on that. Hopefully we will start to get a demonstration version of that we can show you in the very, very, very near future. Okay, right, got most people on. We're now at time. I've done a little bit of waffle and we're going to get cracked on, so I need my glasses. Now we're going to do a little bit of screen sharing. So what I want to do is be quiet. why do things we aren't great? There we go. Right, so we are screen sharing. Brilliant. Right, now the first thing I'm going to show you is going to be the Forex. So this is the little alarm that that came on before. So we're going to get rid of that. Now, okay, how effective is our bot? Well, look at the trades that we've got at the moment. So I've got 1, 2, 3, got 4 trades running here. Okay, you can see the profit. Okay, 161, 162, 319, 72, and 153. Those are pips. Okay, and you've got a total here of 1,100 and well, it's going all over the place. So we'll call it 1,200 pips. Okay, so we're showing a really good profit. Now, what is a pip worth? I remember somebody asking me that the other day. Well, it really depends on the lot size. Now, Forex is complicated, unnecessarily so, I would say, and has been a bit of a closed shop in the past. And again, really, they set it up to make it appear more complicated than it actually is. However, you will buy what's called a lot. So you can see here that we're trading with I'll just open this up a little bit. So you can see here that we're trading with 0.02. Okay, so that's how much of you do a micro lot, which is where you would trade with 0.02. You could trade with a lot, which would be a 0.2, sorry, a mini lot, or you could trade with a lot, which is obviously the figure before point. Now, I'm not going to go into that in too much detail. You will not need to know that. Once we've got our bot all sorted and set up for you, it will become really clear and we'll make it really, really intuitive, and it'll be running in the back office for you. But I just wanted to show you a little bit of information of how the bot potentially will be operating for you. So you can see here that we've got red arrows and blue arrows. So you can see here, this is where the bot has identified, or the bot will identify using this strategy, a down movement or a sell. Okay, so it's identified a small sell here. Okay, and then it didn't last very long, and then it identified a purchase here. Okay, so you can see here we've got a sell and we've got a buy. So it's obviously decided to go short, as we would say in the trading market, or it's gone long here. Okay, and you can see here it's gone long. Now, if in this long, okay, it's only quite a short long, but it's identified it here, and that is about 60 pips. Now, if you look in the middle, I've got the number 12 near this little cross. Hopefully you can see I've got a number 12, a dash, and then 610. That basically means we lose the 8 off it there, and we just call it 60 or 61 pips. Okay, so it's 12 candles or 12 periods, and it's made 61 pips in that possible trade. Now, another trade here, which looks a lot more exciting, is this one here. So it came in around about here, and it will have finished about here, and that was about 100, we'll call it 110 pips, give or take. And then you can see here that we're in the middle of a trade here. So this is a trade that we're in the moment. So we're looking at the euro against the Australian dollar. That's the euro and the Australian dollar. So that's this one here. So you can see at the moment we're showing a profit of 300 pips there. Okay, so it's not bad at all. Okay, so it's definitely the strategy that we've got in. Like I say, we've got a process now of getting that put program speak, and then obviously they then create the programming which allow us to then have automatic trading. So just pick this one here. So you can see here we've got some other signals on here as well that we're just testing out. But if we look at this trade here, which came in, say about here to about here, that's 175 pips. Now, what does a pip mean? Well, like I say, I started to explain how you would bet it, but basically, if you traded $1 per pip, you've basically made $176. You could trade $10, then obviously you would have made $1,700. So that 1 cent, 10 cents, then obviously you'd have made, what would that have been? A quick calculation, $170. So $17. So there you go. So that gives you a rough example of what the pips are, what the bot programming will actually show us. And like I say, once we develop this into the programming, we'll then be able to show you the bot version of it. But we wanted to make sure that you can see how our strategies are performing at the moment, which are, like I say, they're doing pretty well. So we will close that off. And if you've got any questions on the Forex, then please let me know. Just put them in the chat here. That would be great. Let me just make sure that my Hangout is catching up. So that's the first thing that I wanted to show you. Okay. Now, the second thing that I wanted to show you was something that I talked about last Monday. Let me just stop sharing for the moment and make sure that we're all back, because this is where I started to have problems with my Hangout last time. There we go. Right. So I started to talk about it on Monday, about the idea of tracking our binary bot results. And what I was talking about was basically doing a screen print and then transferring that information onto a spreadsheet, and then using that spreadsheet information to sort of really zero in on particular assets and the trading strategy and the formula strategy and the combination of the algorithms, which would make for a longer term trade as opposed to a quick sort of 24-hour, 48-hour turnaround in trades. So I'm going to show you that, and then what I'm also going to show you is what your potential is. I've got a lot of people getting in touch with me, getting very excited about the results of people are getting making like $100 with one bot and $200 with a couple of other bots, and then obviously we've got this master bot which is running at the moment, which is making an absolute ridiculous amount of money. It's like, I think it's up to like $70,000 in just a couple of weeks. So people are obviously getting very excited about these large numbers. And then there's a group of people who obviously are getting quite frustrated because they can't hit these large numbers. I wanted to prove to you that you do not need those large numbers. Okay, it's small amounts of money over a period of time. That's really the holy grail. Okay, if you strike lucky and you have a bot that does you 70 grand in 2 weeks, then that's great. But the bot will do that automatically for you. What I'm going to show you is a couple of ways that hopefully will give you a little bit of a reality check, but also help manage your expectations, both short term, but also mid and long term. So we're going to go through that as well today, touching as much for micro as I can. The internet will hold in. We seem to be doing okay at the moment. So what I'm going to go through now is how I do this analysis bit. Okay, so just bear with me a moment, because again, what I need to do is obviously do a few clicks. I'll just grab a quick drink while we get all that sorted and set up. Okay, right. And you see, what I forgot to do was do the screen share. Okay, right. So those of you guys who are lucky enough to actually have access to our binary bots, okay, you'll be familiar with this this settings page. Now, for those of you unfamiliar with our binary bots, essentially the way this works is, as you can see, we've got the ability to trade currencies, cryptocurrencies, commodities and stocks. We also have the ability to set a maximum budget. Okay, so if I look at stocks now, it basically, the program has given us the best result that it could get on the 23rd of October, on the 24th of October, and on the 25th of October. So over a 3-day period, it's using different strategies, different algorithms, and different formulas, and that's the best result that it could get with a starting budget of, I think, around about $300. Okay, so that's the best result that it could get. And as you can see, they're pretty staggering results, you know, over £1,000 here, 700 here, and $1,600 there. Okay, now not everybody is going to have a budget of around about $300 just to put on one bot. Okay, so you do have the ability to filter these results. And again, obviously people who are using the bot will know this already, but again, for those of you who don't, you can then filter the results by a maximum daily budget. So for example, you could put $100. Okay, so that might mean that you are happy to lose $100 in order to make a profit. So we'll just wait for this to go through. So what the system has done now, as you can see, that these budgets have now dropped from over $500 down to 64. So each of these budgets now are going to be well below that filter, that max of $100. So you can see it's given us a set of different numbers. Okay. Now, some people maybe trade it wanting to just have a maximum budget of say $1. Okay, you know, in the fact that they just want to risk $1 and what are the best assets that they could trade. So as you can see, the budget with $1, where it couldn't get you a profit on $1, obviously it's blank. Okay, so you would be looking for here. You've got JP Morgan. Okay, with $1 across the past 3 days. You could see that it would have made you a nice profit of $17, $18 across those 3 days, okay, which isn't bad. Okay, that's not bad at all. This one is even crazier. So Intel, there's $42 there just on one day, another $41 there as well. Okay, so you can see that on each of these days we've got a strategy, we have an algorithm. Okay, a strategy and an algorithm, and they're all just slightly different. Now, what we would try to do normally is go to the Intel. We can see that strategy A is good. So select strategy A. And the formulas, we've got a 1 for 3, 1 for 3, or a 1 for 2. So let's go for a 1 for 3 because that looks the most popular. Okay. And now you can see that this one here has moved from $1 up to $38. Okay. So that's just a bit too much. So if we bring that formula down, and you can see now we've brought the results down, okay, but also the budget is also down as well. And again, now the next stage is to go through all of the algorithms, there's only 10 of them, to then try and find one which produces profits across all days and is within our reasonable budget. Now, our reasonable budget may not be $1, it may be $5. But again, by going through these algorithms, you can see that the budget is changing slightly each time, okay? We've got a slight loss there in the middle. Now, again, I'm not teaching you anything new. This is something that everybody who's been using the videos and the training that we've been providing for you will know already. So if I was trading Intel, okay, I would probably be looking at algorithm 1, 2. I'm probably looking at algorithm 1. Okay, so that would be the settings that I'd normally would go for, which would be strategy A, algorithm 1, and I would go for the 1 to 2 formula. You could also have a play with 1 for 1, and you could also perhaps push it up to 1 for 3 just to see if that makes any difference. But again, you see here it pushes that budget way out. So probably 1 for 2 might be the better one to go for there. Okay, so that's nothing new. Now, it did strike me that I can only see 3 days here. So wouldn't it be good if I made a note of what had happened on the other 3 days? So at the moment we've got the 25th, the 24th and 23rd. But what if I also had the 20th, 21st and the 22nd? What if I had those best strategies to look at as well? So what I have been doing is I've been using, you don't have to do this, but it's something that I've been doing because I'm a bit analytical like that, is that I've been using this, basically some screen capture software just to take a picture of, so I've been coming up to here, I've chosen the categories that I particularly want, I've put in my budget, so it might be $10, I've then filtered that category, wait for it to go through its process, and then all I've done is I've come here and I've just taken a screenshot of that whole page. So I don't know what it's called. Just Google it if you're on Google Chrome, and it's some full page screen capture widget that's free. I don't know. There's loads out there, so I'm not going to sort of go through which one it is. And then obviously I download that image, and then I then have this image. So this is the image that I've got. Okay, so that's the image for the max budget of 10 in stocks. Now all I do is then literally just make a note of the asset and make a note of the strategy, the algorithm, and the formula, and I put it on a very simple spreadsheet. And again, this is just a screenshot of that process. So you can see here I've got the assets. So I've got Bitcoin, I've got Monday to Friday. Where I've got the dashes, that's where it wasn't able to find me a profit within. So it might be a grayed out one. We probably don't have one on this. So it might be that that was a grayed out one. It couldn't find me a profit on that day for the budget that I'd set. And the budget needs to be the same every single day. Otherwise, the information that you're going to get is obviously not going to be meaningful. And then what I've done from today is I've thought, okay, well, I've got 5 days now worth of information. Wouldn't it be great? Here you can see I've now got 4 days where the strategy, the strongest winning strategy over those 4 days, has been C. And then also you can see the algorithm has been quite high as well. So it's 60, 70, 80, 90. And then the formula has been quite consistent as a 1-2. So that's for Zcash. Okay. You can see here I've got 3 which look similar, 3 out of the 5 days. You can see here on Metaverse, we've got 4 Bs. The algorithms, we've got 2 low and 2 high. So again, it's not going to be a silver bullet, but what it does do, it allows me now to go to Zcash, look at strategy C, and then look at the best algorithm that I can get. So if I now come back to here, I now go to cryptocurrencies, I could find Zcash, which is here. I go to strategy C, the formula was 1-2. And now I literally go through, was it 60? That's because why is it not coming up there? I do apologise, just bear me a moment. Just have a quick trial that's going through. Okay, well look, it couldn't give me, for some reason here, couldn't give me, that's right, isn't it, Thursday. Let's go back to my spreadsheet, I was a bit confused then. So you see Thursday here, it's blanked out. So it couldn't give me a profit for that day. So that's why that's there, okay? So anyway, we're going to see strategy C, 1-8, and then we're looking for an algorithm of 60. Then 70, what does that produce? Let me go, would be better actually if I didn't have that in. That might be why. I'll just go, just refresh that whole page. All right, now go to cryptocurrencies, now go to Zcash. I should now have all 3 days, which I do, okay? So we now have all 3 days. So now go to strategy C, formula was 1-2, and then the algorithm we were looking at was algorithm 60. So you can see here, okay, so the first 2 showing a profit, but this one isn't, okay? Then if we go to 70, it's not showing a great profit, or 80, or 90, okay? If we change the formula a bit, does that make any difference? No. So it looks like, and this is really important, there's a couple of points I want to make here to everybody. So it looks like, okay, that although Zcash, okay, traded really well okay, with a C70 set up on Monday, C60, which is really similar, on Tuesday, C90, which isn't a million miles away, okay, traded really well there. It then had an absolute shocker with those settings on the Thursday. So where people are saying that they are looking at the settings over 3 days and it looks really good and it looks like a winning strategy, you can see that on this spreadsheet there would be a winning strategy, okay, yet it would have had an absolute shocker on that Thursday. And that's why it's important to know that you need to give your bots a good 2 to 3 days in order to fully understand if your settings are going to be great. Because let's say I put my settings on Wednesday and had a great day Wednesday, didn't have a really great day Thursday, and then look, would have had another great day on the Friday. Incidentally, the Friday settings are from last Friday. Obviously, I won't see today's settings until tomorrow. So there's a couple of things I want to point out here. One is, imagine if I've got this information running for now about, I don't know, say 2, 3, 4 weeks. I've then got a really good consistent look of what the best strategy might be for Zcash when I start to look at our settings on here. But also, it also gives me that reality check that no matter how good your settings might be for, let's call it Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Friday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, you can still have a shocker one day. The thing different being is that you could have made a huge amount of profit on these 3 days that you could then stand a bit of a reversal on that day before you then go back into profit. And if you want to see what that looks like in the real world, let's go back to Forex. I'll just pick one of these. Okay, look at this. We've got a really great winning trade here where we've made 175 pips, but then it would go into a reversal over the course of half a day, okay, and then it runs off again, okay, and we're still up and running. So that is what the real world is like. Just because you have settings that look really good on paper, you've still got to work with the real world, and that is what we're working with, okay. So hopefully I've made a couple of points there, okay. It might be worth me just summarizing those again, just in case you've missed it. So Zcash on strategy C and something like algorithm 80 with the right formula, where are we? Where were we? Let's call it. All messed up now, aren't I? Okay, so strategy C with an algorithm 60, great profit on this day here, great profit on this day here, but not great profit on this day. We look at the spreadsheet with a C60, you can see that we would have had pretty good profit, 60, 70, 80, 90, not a great deal of difference between those. We would have had a great deal of profit over the course of those over the 4 days out of those 5, but we would have still taken a setback here, okay. But that $29, okay, would still meant that we would have made what, 15, 16, 17, 18, $28 profit over the, well, sorry, it's there, call it $27 profit over those 3 days, which ain't bad. Yeah, that's not bad at all. Okay, so hopefully that, just close those down. And so hopefully that explains a little bit of how we set up for those, how I'm using my tracking information, my the spreadsheets, in order to help me fine tune certain assets to go for. Okay, I'll just come back to the Hangout and just see if we've got any questions. Okay, right. So better if I put my glasses on. So Ginger is asking, what is the time zone that is being used on the strategy binary bot page? What is the time zone that is being used on the strategy binary bot page? The time zone is, I think it is GMT, and because we're in British summertime, there is an hour's difference, but I think it's in GMT. So if that's not the answer that you want, and there's a different question that you're asking there, Ginger, please let me know. But I think it's GMT, which means it's either an hour forward or an hour behind. I forget now, because we're still in British summertime until this. I think it's this weekend, and then our time zone changes. So that hopefully is the answer. If I'm answering a totally different question, then obviously just get back to me. Dave Horn is asking, should we take the achievements unlocked that they offer in peaky? What are they? Haven't got a clue. I never take any with any sort of platform that you're using. Their objective, same with social media, Facebook, for example, their objective is for you to spend as much time on that platform as possible. The theory being, the more time you spend on the platform, the more money you are going to spend. Each platform has different things. So they might have daily competitions, they may have achievements, they may have like little jewels and things like that. If you want to collect them, collect them. I don't. It's just not my thing. I don't know what they are. It's not something that interests me. I don't get sucked in or sidetracked into that type of thing. So I am totally the wrong person to be asking. I've seen them, so I know what you're talking about, but it's just, it doesn't add value to what I'm trying to do, which is make money through binary options trading. So I just ignore all of that clutter. I'm just looking at the charts and looking at the prices, and that's it. So you might want to speak to somebody who's into that type of thing. It may be fun. It may be that, adds that sort of extra dimension to it. But for me, it just detracts from what I'm trying to do. So, like I say, I'm the wrong person to be asking that question. Sorry about that. Any other questions? Oh, hi, Jeremy. How are you? It's your time zone settings on your profile. Okay, there answers your question there, Ginger. So obviously Jeremy knows what you're asking more than I do. Okay. As I thought, thanks. Don't clutter, yes, good word. Yes, it's a lot more polite than what I would normally call it. Okay, right, what have we done? Right, next bit. We have got, so I've gone through the little bit of analysis and how you can sort of zone in onto assets that you think you've got a good handle on, a consistent strategy and algorithm. And again, what I wanted to highlight was how you can have really successful strategies and what appears to be a really great strategy across 3 days, and then it could just absolutely crash on that 4th day, which is the day that you're placing your trades. Okay, and you think, oh crumbs, I've done it all wrong. No, you haven't, so long as you followed the information that we're giving you in the videos, because more often than not you are going to win. Okay, but you just need to understand that we're dealing with the real world here. Okay, and the real world can cock things up, okay, as Wednesday's hangout proved. So you just need to understand that and just manage your expectations. Okay, and as we keep saying all the time, is you're trading with money that you don't need. Okay, so if you should lose your $20 that you're trading, or your budget, your $30, your $40, your $100, or whatever it is, that's your expectation when you go into that live trading bot. Okay, and never ever ever go into that live trading mode until you're really happy with the way that you manage your your demo mode settings. Okay, and I think somebody put that suggestion, or underline that comment in the WhatsApp group earlier today, in the fact that they've set themselves a challenging target for their demo account before they then move on to the live account. And I think that's a really good example of what you can do. Okay, right, so let's now quickly move on. I'm going to do screen share again, so I will go quiet. There we go. Right. Okie doke. And we'll go to slideshow. Okay. Right. Again, this is all about little and often. Yeah, you are, if you do this long enough, all right, if you do this long enough, you will find that you get some really great winners. Okay, we just had a look at Zcash. Okay, that Zcash just with $1 would have made you what was that, 30, call it $30 out of 3 days sorry, 2 days out of 3. Okay, but it would have made you possibly $100 during the course of that particular week if you'd just been running it on $1. Okay, so you will strike gold. Okay, I was going to say eventually, but you will strike gold. But in the meantime, what you need to be doing bits of income and adding it to your budget over a period of time. And this is a really simple way of trying to demonstrate that fact to you. Okay, so let us say that on the 1st of November, okay, this year, your starting budget is about $500. Now, if your starting budget is more than that or less than that, then obviously you can factor up and down the figures that I'm going to give you, okay? But we're just going to go with this $500 as our starting base here. If you just set a target, okay, a mental target that you're going to get between $8 and $9 per bot winning every single day, okay, that is not a lot, okay. $8 to $9 is not a lot, and I think a lot of you, when you're setting your bots up, will probably be hitting sort of $12, $13, $14 with ease. I mean, there are people in the WhatsApp group. I think it's Tom in the WhatsApp group. I think he's hit something like $150 or $50 a bot or something like that in the past 24 hours. So this is being conservative, okay. If you were able to do that, you're going to be hitting a target of around about $25 per bot per day with your bots. Okay, $25 is 5% growth on your initial trading pot. Okay, that's a 5% growth on a daily basis. Now you can trade 7 days a week, but for this example, we're just going to trade Monday to Friday. So that's $25 times 5 days. That's $125 per week, okay? And that is a 25% growth on your $500 budget, okay? $125 a week, no, you're not going to be able to retire on that. But what you are going to do is you're going to keep adding it to your overall budget. You trade the rest of November, so the 4 weeks in November, you continue the same thing, okay? That's $125 a week times 4 weeks. That's $500. And guess what? That is 100% growth now on your original $500 budget. So that by the 1st of December, you have now got a total trading budget of $1,000. Okay, so you've literally grown your trading budget from 500 to 1,000, and all you've done is targeted yourself $25 growth per day. Okay, there's no compounding here. There's no sort of adding this and taking this and being anything complicated. It's just real simple maths. So on the 1st of December, you've got a trading budget of $1,000. Now you could decide to just withdraw your initial $500, in which case, obviously, you're then starting with $500, but you're then playing with pocket options is money as opposed to your money, all right? But for this scenario, we're going to go with $1,000. Exactly the same thing. You target yourself 5% growth every single day, which now means you're targeting $16 and $18 per bot per day. What does that mean? Well, perhaps in November, you started all of your bots with $1. Perhaps in December, you're starting your bots with $2. Or perhaps in November, you had your bots set at 1, 1, 1. Whereas in December, you've got them set at 1, 2, 4, 8. Or perhaps you've got a bot that you set up in November that is really working for you and it's cranking out really consistent $20, $30, $40 worth of profit every single day. Whichever it is, just now you're targeting between $16 and $18 per bot, and you're going for $50. Again, you know, I'm not going to sort of show you how to teach you how to suck eggs, but trade it Monday to Friday, gives you $250, and trading that for 4 weeks, that's going to give you 100% growth again on your 100% on your $1,000 budget, which now means that you go into January with now $2,000 worth of trading budget, and you simply rinse and repeat, so that in February that will grow to 4, in March it'll grow to 8. Now, clearly, during this period of time, you may be doing some withdrawals, you may be doing some drawdowns. You also need to get over the emotional barrier of not trading with $1, but perhaps trading with $5 or $7 or $10, or perhaps trading with $20 and $30. But either way, you're starting to work with larger amounts of trading budget. Now, I'm not going to go on and on and on, but clearly by the end of the year, you're up to a scary number. Okay, but this is all built on just finding assets which will generate you around about $10 per day per bot, and then obviously you then scale it up. So hopefully you can understand and appreciate that you do not need necessarily to be finding that ultra brilliant winning strategy. Okay, just find assets which are going to generate you, like I say, $10 to $20 consistently every single day. And that will be, you may not find it today, but you may find it next week. You may find them the week after. You just need to keep looking for them. Okay, so hopefully that helps manage a few expectations. I'm now going to go quickly back to the Hangout just to see if we've got any questions on there. And I'll just have a quick drink while we're waiting for questions. Okay, lovely. No questions. Right, final bit. Okay, and I can hear an impatient wife. Sorry, not wife, daughter in the background. She wants to go. She's got her party shoes on. She wants to go. Right, so I'm going to go very far back now. I just want to make sure that founders, guys, people who are still looking at Zukul in order to become a founder, what do you need to do? What is it all about? So let's very quickly go through that. Okay, so Zukul binary option robots. We have at the moment our binary option robot is being made available to all founders. Now, obviously you've got access to the demo, and I think most of you now have access to the live mode as well. If you want to have access to the binary option bot, then the only guaranteed way of having access to it is by becoming a founder or by becoming a leader. A leader is somebody who can bring in 100 people directly. Okay, that's not a total team of 100. It means personally introducing 100 active Zukul members, in which case you're then classed as a leader and you will then have access to the binary bot. However, the only guaranteed way is if you are a founder. Once we have all our founder positions in place, and that will be at the end of this month, then we will then take obviously consultation with Pocket Option, and they will then allow us or let us know how many more members or how many more bots they will allow us to have. Once we have that number, we will then have a look at how many more Zukul members will have access to the binary bot. So it's never going to be a guarantee that anybody else is going to have access to the binary bot other than founding members. And that's not some BS scarcity rubbish. It's down to the fact that our binary bots, as you will see, are very, very successful. They will generate money, and clearly Pocket Option need to be able to make money by people losing, and our binary option bots will obviously give people the upper hand and not necessarily lose as much money as binary Pocket Option are used to people losing. So they may limit the number of people that we can have using it. So we need to be cautious. We can't say that everybody can have it. What we can say is that all of the founders will have access to it. So that's the context of what I'm going to be talking about over the next 5 minutes. Now the bot will be launched officially in November. Okay, so in November it will be officially launched live. There's still tinkering and tweaks. Tinkering's the wrong word. There is still tweaks and updates and extra features that are being added. Some of the things we will see visually, some things we don't see. It all operates in the background just through programming. But everything will be effectively completed in November, and we will be going live with the binary options bot. As I said, who will have access? It will only be leaders and it will only be founders. They are the only people who are guaranteed to have access to the binary option bot. And the important date, if you want to become a founder, is the 31st of October. Okay, there are absolutely no extensions, and there is a few reasons for that. If you want to become a founder, there is only bronze founders available. We've sold out of the platinum, the gold and the silver. There's only bronze founder available, and that was bronze founders were brought in through popular demand about, I would say, 3 and a bit weeks ago. So again, a lot of those positions have now gone. The fee to become a bronze founder is 0.4 BTC. If that is too much for you as a one hit, then you can ask for a payment plan, okay? But you'll need to discuss that with the support team at Zukul. All right, I'm not going to go through that today, but there is that option for you. Clearly, you won't get live access to the binary option bot until you make the final payment. I just want to make that clear. When the offer ends, the offer ends. And the reason for this is twofold, really. The main reason is because it's going to take an awful lot of work in order to reposition all the founders in the various funnels. So some founders are going to be in 4 funnels, some founders may be only in 1 funnel, but they all need to be repositioned, and then the funnels need to be compressed and recalibrated, I suppose is the best way of putting it. And that is all going to take time. It'll be done via software. It'll then be manually checked, and they've already started doing that process to try and get everything done in time for when we actually officially launch in November. So that is the reason why the 31st of October is the deadline. There will be absolutely no extensions or exceptions to that. And the other reason is, there is another reason, and it's gone straight out of my mind, so we will just go with the original reason, and I will edit everything else out. Okay, so what happens in November? Well, obviously we've got the binary option bot, that will be launching. We have the Forex bot, which I've talked about. That won't launch in November. It will launch, I think, early next year. And we have the smart wallet and the mining, which again will probably be launching. We may get the demo version this side of Christmas, but it won't be going out to members, I wouldn't have thought, until the other side of Christmas. Okay, and that's me speculating just on various timescales. So who will get access to the binary option bot? So effectively, like I say, if we are allowed to release it to other members, then you will only have access to the binary option bot if you are a beginner, intermediate, or advanced package holder. Okay. And if you do want to get access to the binary option bot, then it's going to cost you, if you're a beginner, 0.15 BTC, intermediate at 0.12 BTC, and if you're an advanced member, 0.076 BTC. And then there will be a weekly commission paid on all profits. And that will be paid weekly by the member, and the bot will then be released for the following week on payment of those commissions. Yes, those BTCs are a lot less than the 0.4 BTC. What you need to understand is that 0.4 BTC is lifetime access to all of our software. That includes the Forex, the smart wallet, the mining tool, and obviously binary option bot. These are annual fees, okay? So if you're not a founder, then you will be expected, if you want to use the software that we've got, then you'll need to pay an annual fee and obviously a larger commission on a weekly basis. So who will get access if we are allowed to release it to other members other than founders? First of all, there will be some people who will be handpicked, and they'll be handpicked by Jeremy. I believe he has identified, or going through the process of identifying who those people will be. They don't know, okay? So they will be handpicked. Once those people have been chosen and they either decide they want to go with it or they don't, then any remaining places will obviously be filled on a first come, first served basis. And obviously that will be also to non-Zukul members as well. Obviously they will need to become a Zukul member to use it, but you don't necessarily need to be a Zukul member at this stage in order to have access to the binary bot. Founders and leaders, okay, they will get absolutely free access to the binary option bot and clearly pay a lot less in weekly profit sharing or weekly commission. Smart wallet and mining, I'm not going to go into a great deal, but basically when that comes online, okay, there will be a large BTC value for non-founders. So if you're a beginner, it's 5 BTC, intermediate 3 BTC, and advanced 2 BTC, and clearly 50% profit sharing commissions on a weekly basis, again, will be a lot bigger than the founders. The founders, as you can see, will get free access to the smart wallet and mining, and obviously they will pay a lot less in weekly profit sharing. And then we have the Forex bot, which I've sort of given you a bit of a taste at earlier on today. When the Forex bot comes online, non-founders and leaders will have to pay a yearly fee, okay? And obviously we will publish that fee when we get closer to the launch of the Forex bot. However, leaders and founders will get it absolutely free for life because, like I say, they are founders. So, as you can see, 31st of October, the bronze founder fee at 0.4 BTC now looks cheap, okay, based on the information that I've just given you. And like I say, there is a payment plan available should you want to make use of that. In order to become a founder, all you need to do is go into your Zukul back office, go to the top right corner where your name is, and in the drop-down box there will be a contact support button. If you click on that, and then just send in a ticket, explain that you want to become a founder, a bronze founder. If you also want the payment options, then of course, add that to the email message as well. And they will get in touch with you in the next 24 hours. And then hopefully, as long as you follow those instructions, you will then become a bronze founder, and you'll have access to all of the benefits that our founders have as well. Okay. Let me just quickly close all that down. So, do we have any last questions? Okay, this is our last shout for questions. So, Gabor, okay, what's your question? When do you planning to open the demo for the non-founder and non-leaders? Okay, so what Jeremy has said is that I think depending on the package, I forget now what level it will be, but you will have the ability to have a demo version of the binary option bot. And I think you might only have one option to run one bot, but you'll obviously have all the data and the information that comes through, what's called the settings page. So you'll obviously have access to that. I don't know is the quick answer to that. That would be a question that Jeremy can answer. But again, it largely depends on, as always, it's going to be down to numbers on how many members we can have. We're allowed to have access to the binary bot through pocket options. We are looking at other binary option platforms, but we've built good connections with pocket options at the moment at a programming level. And that's taken a good number of months. So even if we got another binary option platforms today, it's going to take a good few months in order for us to build that connection with them, and obviously get APIs and all that sort of software stuff going together as well. So it won't happen overnight. But basically, it's all about the fact that we will be very much limited on how many people we can allow access to the binary option bot, basically. So that's the quick answer, Gabor. Sorry. Right, no more answers. Okay. Thank you very much. There's not a lot more I've got time really to go through now. I have got a reception to go to, so I really appreciate your attendance today. A lot more smoother running, hopefully, for you guys. And I will chat to you over the weekend. If you have any questions that you want to get in touch with me, you can hit me up on comments on YouTube, or go to Facebook or WhatsApp or whatever it might be. Get in touch with me. And I'll obviously get back to you over the weekend. Failing that, I will see you on a hangout definitely on Monday, and of course on Wednesday. Wednesday is really important because that is the last day for founders to actually get themselves in time. After Wednesday, obviously, no more founder positions will be made available. Okay, so thank you very much, guys, and like I say, have a great weekend. Take care. Bye-bye.